dig all the holes. I'll dig two of those. These holes here. That was a little bit delicate. I'll put in a little bit of first. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jen. My last video, which I will tag just up here for you, was about the Agapanthus that I had dug up and divided into either clumps and singles with my niece Ava, and this video today is going to be planting those singles into the garden bed that I pulled all of those Agapanthus out of to make it refreshed, spacious, ready to have another couple of seasons of growth. So the very first things that we have to do to get the garden bed prepped is to get rid of all of those dead leaves, the tops of the leaves that we cut off, all of the root systems that we had chopped off during the dividing process, and just cleaning that space up completely so that we're ready to then put those new Agapanthus back into the ground. Here we are cleaning up the mess of Agapanthus, which is very common if you're going to be dividing any of your Aggies at home and DIYing it, getting these tips and tricks. There is going to be a lot of mess, so be prepared to have copious amounts of root system and leaves and soil and everything that you need to deal with after you've divided those Aggies. When you're going to plant singles or doubles, we always suggest planting them a gap of 400 mils. I also like to take into account the distance from the fence. Whatever you have in that environment, having a gap from that area so that the roots can grow out and the foliage will grow up without it actually embedding into and up against that fence line. A little trick that I like to do is poking holes where I think the Agapanthus will be planted, and then I actually like to just sit those singles and doubles right on top of those holes and just get a rough idea of the appearance of the garden if they were to be planted. So here I am with Ava and we're just plomping an Agapanthus on all of those 400 mil gaps, seeing how it looks. If we're happy with the appearance, which we were, that way we know what the end result is going to look like. We're not going to be disappointed that we didn't plant enough, and we're not going to be disappointed that we've planted too many and have to take some out. But finding out that we obviously had the right amount of stock, we then took those Agapanthus back off of the garden bed, and that's when we begin to do the digging. So when you're planting your Agapanthus, just think about what's the quickest way to get all of these into the ground, all of them watered, fertilized, without having to be in a mud pit. What I generally like to do is I dig every single hole ready to go. I then put the fertilizer in, all before any water comes on the scene. Once I've got some fertilizer in, I then go ahead and I'll put water in every single hole before putting that Agapanthus inside, filling the hole with some dirt that obviously I've taken out of those holes, tampering it down, and then I follow back with re-watering the top and making them all settled in. Leftover Agapanthus that you're not ready to plant yet, know that you don't actually have to put them into the ground straight away. If you've divided them up and you can't get them into the ground for a few weeks, they will do just fine, bare rooted, out in the sun, doesn't really even matter. Not obviously on a 40-degree day, that would be a little bit silly. Put them in a shaded area, and all I do is, just as I am now, I'm going over the Agapanthus with a sprinkle of water, making sure those root systems aren't drying out completely. and they will do just fine for weeks out of the ground. So there's no rush to get those Agapanthus back in. You might find that after you've dug these big clumps of Agapanthus up, that you literally are just too crippled to have to put them back into the ground, or you're just running out of time in the day. So don't be too concerned if you're not getting them back into the soil straight away. They're so hardy and so hard to kill that honestly, I left these ones on this chair for weeks before I went and planted them out the front of the farm. These Agapanthus that you're seeing here are exactly the same Agapanthus. It's now the 22nd of November. 4 months of growth, and this is what you're going to see. It looks fuller, it looks healthier. All of the yellowing leaves have dropped off. They're all starting to just stand up nice and tall. And like, we have a variety of different Agapanthus in this garden bed. I mixed them up so much that I couldn't even tell you until the first flowering season what all of them are, but I know that there's at least 7 to 8 different varieties just here in this garden bed. So I'm really interested to see what these Agapanthus are going to look like after the first season of flowering. So let's come back in January or February and I'll have to make a new video of what Agapanthus is flowering, how they're doing, and I'll keep you updated with all of that kind of information. If you have any further questions on how to plant these Agapanthus, how to divide different types of Agapanthus, make sure that you check out the videos that we've previously made. But if you do have any other questions, just drop me some comments down below and I will do my best to get back to you, or even use those to inspire new video ideas. So I really appreciate you guys coming and watching. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe for our channel. It really supports us and we really enjoy making these videos for you as well. So can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.